Well, welcome everybody. My name is Butch Lieber. I own Draw Door Business Coaching, and I'm a realtor. I've been a realtor for almost 18 years now, a little over 18 years. And I've been a business coach. I've been doing business coaching for many, many years, coaching realtors with their business. But I opened my own actual coaching business about a year ago called Draw Door Coaching. If you're curious where the name comes from, if you've ever seen the movie Beetlejuice, it's about these two spirits that get stuck in their house. And there's a scene in the movie where they're stuck in the attic and they have no way to get out. And the handbook tells them, in case of emergency, draw a door. So they pick up a piece of chalk and they drew a door, and the door opened into a new world. And in business, often we get stuck up against a wall. We feel like we can't get any further. So we're over here and we have our thoughts and ideas and everything we want on the other side of the wall. So what I do as a coach is I help people draw a door to open the wall and create new opportunities and step into that. So the conversation today is basically tied into that. How do we look at the situation we're in from a new perspective to create some new opportunities for us? Reality is I don't have any answers. I wish I did, right? There's just no real answers. But it's how do we look at our situation and create some new freedom, create new power to be able to move forward inside of what we're dealing with right now. And the bottom line is you have to take some action. So we'll talk about today, what are the actions there are to take to have our businesses succeed. You could have the point of view, I need to have my business survive, or you could have your idea of how to have my business succeed or how to have my business thrive despite the circumstances that are going on today. So we'll talk about all of that. The future really is unknown. We have no idea what's going to happen as time goes on. We could have a cure for this next week, right? The government just released billions of dollars to work towards a cure. This could be over in a week. It could be over in 6 months. We have no idea. The future is unknown and it's uncertain. And either way, whatever happens, we have a say in how the future goes for us. We get to decide how we're going to react in that. So that's what today's about. So what I'm going to address today is how do we live and operate and work effectively during times of disruption, change, and uncertainty. So hopefully you're interested in that. That's what we're going to talk about today, right? We could be barreling through, just do this and do this and do this and barrel through. But as a coach, as a human being, I'm really not interested in barreling through. I'm not interested in struggling. I'm interested in moving forward with the experience of freedom, the experience of power. So, so hopefully you're interested in living and operating and working powerfully, in the face of disruption, change, and uncertainty. So I'm going to start with the question: is what's already there? Like, what gets in the way of dealing powerfully with disruption and change? What's it been like for you? With how it is for some people, as I've talked to other, as people, there's this sense of fear and anxiety over the unknown, finding ways to distract themselves from being focused on business. So I don't know if people can raise their hands if you click on the, I'm not sure exactly how it works on the window. You can raise your hand if you want to share. I'm just curious, what's already there for you in the world? What gets in the way of dealing powerfully with the changes that we're dealing with the environment that we're dealing with right now? So I think on the chat, you can either ask in the comment in the chat window, or if you open up the link that has the participants link, you can raise your hand and we can unmute you if you'd like to share. So who would like to share? Interactive makes this a whole lot better because you don't want to listen to me for a whole hour. I could tell jokes. What gets in the way of dealing powerfully with disruption and change? Okay, so I guess it's not going to be interactive today. I'm just going to keep talking. So fear and anxiety. Sorry, I got that. Thank you. Right. There's a certain fear and anxiety that comes with not knowing what's happening, what's going on, and what's going to happen tomorrow. Things could change. That certainly is a certain reasonable, valid, normal reaction to what's going on, right? As human beings, we tend to be stimulus response machines. We get something happens and then we respond, and something happens and we respond. And when something happens, most of us like to be control freaks, especially as business owners, people in business. We like to be in charge. We want to plan for the future, plan for all these contingencies, and then this comes up and it's like, what do I do? Right? Stress comes from that as well. Thank you. So there's this whole world, and those are all normal reactions. Whatever it is that you're experiencing, from panic, fear, anxiety, it shouldn't be this way. Those are our default responses. That's okay. Like, it's valid. It's what is normal. It's what we expect. So, so we have to be okay with whatever the response is. For some people, the response is, I don't even want to deal with it. Thanks, Wendy. Right? Clients that just have no concern. They're just like, just going to go to my day as usual, right? And that's a little scary itself. But that's what we're used to doing, is, well, if I ignore it long enough, it will go away. For some people, there's a response like, it shouldn't be this way. And there's a world of resistance and arguing. Reality is, it really is what it is. It could be, this is wrong. This shouldn't be this way. The government's wrong. The way people are handling it are wrong. People that keep going out and socializing and won't social distance, they're wrong. All valid responses. It's normal. But we have and we don't have any choices in those responses. They're natural. They happen by default. So how do we then shift our response from one of default to one of choice? How do we then we have the ability as human beings to actually choose our response, right? It may take a breath, it may stop for a second and go, okay, wait, I'm not going to react. I'm going to do this way. The reaction is immediate and automatic. Choosing a new reaction takes some work. So how do we choose? How do we do that? So the first step in choosing is accepting it is what it is. This is probably the hardest thing and the most powerful step in dealing with any kind of uncertainty. It is what it is. There is a virus. It is contagious. It kills people at a high rate. Right? The economy is shut down. You can't go to the movies. You can't socialize with your friends. You can't go into the office. It's the reality of what it is. When you can accept it is what it is, with no judgments and no shouldn't be that way or it isn't that way, there's a lot of power that comes with that. Accepting what is, and this goes for anything in life, right? You're driving to an appointment, you're in your best clothes, and you get a flat tire. Reality is, you have a flat tire, and you could stress and be anxious and upset and angry and yell and scream and wait for the AAA truck or get yourself all dirty changing the tire so you're not, like, all that stuff. It's easier if you just go, okay, well, this is what it is. Let's deal with it and move on. It creates a really powerful foundation when you can live with it is what it is without any judgment. Removing the resistance to the truth of the matter creates a really powerful place to work from. So otherwise you're spending your energy fighting and resisting, and the reality is it's not going anywhere. It is what it is. So it's the one thing I want you to take away today is the biggest tool to deal with the challenges is start with, okay, this is what I have. Now what? Right? This is what I got. Now what? And it gives you a powerful place to stand rather than resisting and fighting it. Second step is stop looking for the answer. There is no the answer. There is no one way to fix this. There is no one way to run your business inside of this. There are no rules. I believe and I teach, that we all live by some set of invisible rules. And we didn't create the rules. We didn't agree to the rules. And because they're invisible, we're blind. We're really blind to the impact that these rules have on our life and our choices and our business. So when you look at the reality and look at other people, we all have different set of rules. So the reality of it is there are no real rules. So as there are no rules, there's no one answer. There's choices and actions to take in the face of things. So if you can stand in, okay, this is what I have, and now what's possible, and here's my commitment, then you have power to operate from. Which leads us to, I think, one of the most important things is you have to create your actions and your future from your vision. Now, this is important, and this is something that I do a lot of training with, and I'm going to get back to more of this in a little bit. I could spend hours on what it means to create from your vision, but I want to create it for you so you kind of understand it from here. It's your vision. You could also call it your why. Why do you do what you do? If you've ever seen this Simon Sinek TED Talk, he talks about people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Why is it that you do what you do? You might call your vision your core values. It might be the ethos of your business. It's your vision is what it is you're out to achieve. Now, when people hear vision, they often hear goal, right? My goal is to have a business that, sells this product. And I saw somebody mention they manufacture bathrobes and coats and for dogs and bandanas for dogs, right? So your vision could be to dress every dog in a beautiful bandana. Well, that's a goal for the business, but the vision is what does it leave people with? What are you about as a person, and what's your business about for you? So when I talk about vision, I'm talking about a personal vision, and hopefully if you're a business owner, that your business lines up with your personal vision as well. So vision is what you want to leave people with when they interact with you. It's the experience that they're left with. So it could be the experience of joy. My vision is that people experience freedom and power in fulfilling what's important to them. And my vision at the end of this phone call is you walk off with a little bit of freedom of what to do next to survive this and to work through this. The vision is what people get to experience when they work with you. If you think about it from you do whatever it is you do with them and they finish, Wendy's a massage therapist. When they get off the table, I imagine, Wendy, you want them to feel relaxed and peaceful. And that would be the vision, that people experience relaxation, comfort, connectedness, whatever that is. Your vision is what you uniquely offer to the world. Each person has their own vision. I'm in a coaching program with a number of other people, and there are 4 or 5 of us that have the experience of freedom as our vision, but we all have different ideas of what that looks like. Your vision is unique to who you are and what you want to leave the world with. Your vision's a representation of the commitment to the difference you and your business make to the world. The vision should be, what is it you leave people with? If your business is founded in, I'm in this business to make money, that's fine, but it's not empowering, and it doesn't, for most people, it doesn't get you out of bed in the morning. What gets you out of bed, what lets you go to bed at night feeling fulfilled and satisfied, is operating from a vision for the difference you want to make. It's most people, I would argue almost all people, really do want to make a difference for people. So your vision should be an experience that you want to leave people with, that your business gets to provide. Whatever product or service you provide, what is it that they get to experience by working with you and using your product or whatever that is? It's your story. It's your core values. It's the experience you want to bring to the world. And operating from a vision gives you a foundation to operate from. And then it's also a guidepost. I've been a real estate agent for 18 years. And one of the things in real estate, and I imagine any business, is we get bombarded with advertisements for products and services that are going to help us be great, generate more business, and build more referrals. And the litmus test I use is, does that product or service align with my vision? Will that help me experience a new level of freedom and power? And my clients experience a new level of freedom and power. And if it doesn't, not interested. It's a really great place to stand and a guidepost to operate from. So, like I said, I could spend hours on creating a vision, and I'm going to offer anybody who's on this call or watches this later a free 30-minute coaching session to help clarify a vision. Because I really believe at the core of everything I do as a business coach that something about the power you get from living from a vision, operating from a vision, always creates a sense of freedom, a sense of ease in the world. Like, this is who I am. This is what I'm going to bring. And I could focus on all the insecurities and anxieties and doubts and worries over here, or I can focus on, how do I take an action that fulfills my vision? Living from a vision gives you focus. When you're clear about your vision, can put can put words to your vision and your vision gets fulfilled, it fulfills you, it lights you up, it inspires you. You get to go to bed satisfied that you've made a difference in the world, right? When I have people in my coaching or just talking to people and they have a new opening, some new door opens, some opportunity shows up that they can step into, and they step into it, like I've done my job and I feel good, like I've made the difference in the world that I want to do. Does anybody on the call have a vision that they're clear what the vision is for themselves or for their business that they want to share? It may be a new concept for some people. I don't know. Some of you may be very clear, like this is my vision. This is what I'm about. Does anybody want to share about their vision? You can put it in the comments or raise your hand and we'll unmute you. Okay. These online classes are tough. I'd much rather be in person too. So Wendy's great. My vision is to make people feel loved. That's really powerful. I don't know you, Wendy, but I imagine wherever you go, love would follow. And whether it's your business or just living in life, right? The experience that people feel loved and cared for, which is a really powerful vision. And then you have options. It creates new openings for action when you get really grounded in that. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. Anybody else have a vision they'd like to share? A thought, an idea? Okay. All right. So we'll move on. And I just want to be clear too about the vision is there's no one way that you should be or that anybody should be. You get to pick your vision. You get to clear. And for most people, when they get really clear that their vision is already a representation of who they are, it's part of you. It's what gives you it's what got you into business in the first place. Very few people, I imagine, started their business because I just need a way to make money. I'm going to go do this. There was some sense of I want to make a difference for people. I know, in real estate, I had a bad real estate experience when I was younger. It's like, well, I'm going to go do this business so that other people don't have that same experience, the experience that people get taken care of. People get the experience of freedom and their own power. So if you want to talk more about creating a vision, reach out to me later and we can work on that. So getting back to the question of how do we live, operate, and work effectively during times of disruption, change, and uncertainty, it's a really simple 3-step process, right? Accept what is. Again, it is what it is. One of the biggest tools that is the hardest thing that I've had to learn is to get comfortable being uncomfortable, right? Being uncomfortable, having the space of having the space to be uncomfortable, not knowing the answers, can give you some great power. It's like I'm uncomfortable and it's okay to be uncomfortable, not questioning all the thoughts and the default responses that show up. You could make them wrong. I shouldn't be that way. I shouldn't be that way. I should do this. People should be that way. Being able to give that up and say it is just what it is. That's how they are. That's how I am. Accepting what is and accepting the circumstances gives you that powerful place to stand. To get comfortable being uncomfortable. Second thing is to create. And again, what can I do to fulfill my vision? What can I do to achieve my goal? Now, that sounds like, okay, well, that doesn't answer any questions. That's more questions. There is power in living in a question. Asking a question you don't know the answer to. What could I do that would fulfill my vision? What could I do, given the circumstances that we're in today? What could I do to have people feel loved and cared for? Would be a powerful place to stand. And then let your brain go to work, whether you're a spiritual person or somebody who believes in the power of the universe or energy, just allowing the question to work. I'm a big crossword puzzle fan. I've been doing crosswords since I was in junior high school. And I can do the New York Times Sunday puzzle in about 35, 45 minutes most weeks. Some weeks I can't do it at all. I'll do it. I'll spend an hour on it and I get about half done. And I no matter what happens, I will never know the capital of that country in Africa or whatever it is, right? So I do as much as I can do and I put the crossword puzzle away. Well, a couple hours later, I'll come back to it, I'll pick it up, and all of a sudden, boom, 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 I have all the answers, I fill it in and I'm done. Even though I stopped working on it, my brain continues to go look for answers. And that's how it works. We're always operating from a place of where's the answer. People say, ask yourself, if you're struggling with a difficult problem, walk away from it for a little bit. Your focus will be someplace else, but your brain will continue to work. Before you go to bed at night, if you're stuck on something, excuse me, you can, think, okay, in the morning, I'm going to have an answer to this. And when you wake up, you actually see new things, right? So, being able to stand in the question and go, what can I do? And then listen for the answers, and then don't discount the answers that come up, right? It may sound absurd, it may sound crazy, but what if I could do that? What if that did work for me? So accepting what is, creating from your vision, and then take action. You must take action. It doesn't matter what the action is. You must take action. Um, the action is the only thing that produces results. You don't take action, guaranteed no results. You take action, you never know what's going to happen. And I heard a saying a few months ago that I thought was really, really great, is nothing works. And anything can work if you work it, right? Everybody has this system. Use this system and you'll be successful. And use this system and you'll be successful. And follow my 3 steps to success. Great, that may work for some percentage of people. I come back to real estate because I know the industry really well. There's a 90% failure rate in the first 2 years. People get their license, they want to go into real estate, and they're out of the business in 2 years. And there's all these people telling you, do this, you'll make money, and do this, you'll make money. Well, that works for maybe 10% of people. So how do you stay successful? How do you move forward? And that is taking an action and then reviewing and reviewing and reviewing the results that come from your action. What's great is in the world of uncertainty, when you can stand in the uncertainty, when you can be comfortable being uncomfortable, when you can look to the future from your vision and take some action, from that uncertainty comes amazing amounts of creativity and innovation. We're already seeing businesses shift how they're doing business. We already see people doing new things online that they never thought, I can't do that. Things are working in new miraculous ways. Necessity is the mother of invention. From uncertainty comes creativity and innovation. So that's the foundation to work from, is allow what is to be what it is, and then stand for creating from your vision. You can't have two experiences at the same time. You can't be scared and afraid and powerfully in action, fulfilling your vision at the same time. You might bounce back and forth between the two, but if you can focus your attention on fulfilling the vision and taking action, the other will just disappear on its own. There's nothing to do to fix it. I want to talk next about the triangle of power. So if you don't know what to do, and that's where a lot of people are right now, there's this people stuck in the world of what should I be doing? So I want to introduce you to this concept. This was created by people, Jeff Wilmore and Richard Condon, the idea of the triangle of power. And basically what it says is, for any vision to be fulfilled, it requires an architecture and environment that allow the vision to get expressed, the goal to be expressed. So this is a really great place to help you create what's next for your business. The first step is get clear on what's your intention. The intention could be your vision fulfilled in the world. It could be a goal. Have my business thrive in this uncertain economy, or, make some money this week to put food on the table, right? It could be anything, creating a vision that actually inspires you, or a goal that inspires you. And to have that vision fulfilled, there must be an architecture in place. These are the structures, the standards, the systems that call for and support action. So this is, what are the tools that you're using? If you look at your business now, or look at the business as it was a couple of weeks ago, you already have systems and structures in place that effectively have your business work. And we're always looking to create new systems and new tools and new structures that have us move forward. So having the architecture in place helps fulfill the vision. But also important is the environment. The environment are the people and the conversations that you're having, and then the relationships of the people to the conversations for the intention being fulfilled. I get really sad when I hear business owners like, I'm out of business, I can't make any money during this, right? real estate agents who are like, I'm not going to do this anymore until this is all over. I'm going to go on vacation for 3 months. That's fine if it empowers you. But more empowering is like, wow, how do I stay in business? How do I generate revenue? So looking at the conversations you're having and the people around you are having to fulfill a vision, because as um, Napoleon Hill says, if you, what the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve, you can do this. And it calls for creating an environment and creating the architecture to fulfill it. So when you're looking at your business, there is the world of first get clear what you're out to accomplish, right? What is it you want to accomplish? And be specific. Be specific, whether it's fulfillment of a vision or is attaining a specific goal. And then looking at what you're saying to fulfill it. Listening to the words you're saying and the people around you are saying, and standing for the right environment that has it work. And then the architecture that's created. Do you have the systems in place? Do you have the tools that you need? And you may have to create something newly. So the first step is what systems, and once you're clear on your vision, your goal, what systems, what structures do you currently have that are inconsistent with your vision and goals? There are things you're doing now, you're doing out of habit. I would argue, not necessarily true, but there are things you're doing now, you're doing out of habit. Things that you've always done, things that make you feel good, things that become part of your everyday routine, and they don't actually support your vision getting fulfilled. So the first thing to do is, what are the things you're doing that you could let go, stop doing, get rid of them altogether? They're in the way of the vision being fulfilled, right? And looking at everything you do and your systems and your tools, how you do something. Next is, what do you have that you're doing that's not as effective as you'd like it to be? What can we reimagine? And given the new circumstances that we're in, we have to reimagine a lot of our systems, right? Realtors doing virtual tours. I have a friend that sells insurance. He does Medicare and health insurance, and he's so used to sitting down in somebody's house and going over the programs. And most of his clients are senior. They don't have Zoom. They don't know how to use technology necessarily. And he's got to create new ways now of getting in front of his clients or teaching them technology. And so there's a shift in the structures, reimagining the systems and tools and structures that we have inside of a new environment. Lastly, actually, it's not lastly, what new systems and structures do you have to create to fulfill the vision and goals? And this is where that creativity comes in. Standing in, okay, here's what I got. I can't be out in people. I can't go network. I can't go talk to people. And yet my business thrives on being in front of people. How do I do that? How do I fulfill my vision? And this is a great place to mastermind with people. Get together with business partners, people in your industry who may not even work at the same company, and mastermind together for what can we do now that we haven't been doing before? What can we do in a new way? And let it percolate. Let the question hang out there and start listening for answers. You'll be amazed at the things that show up inside of that. It sounds simple, and it may sound foolish for some people, but there is some power in just putting out there, what's another way I can get in touch with people inside of this, inside of the new world that we're living in. So going through your systems and structures and your environment as well, right? What are you saying or you're not saying that you can shift in this environment? So this tool, going back to the triangle of power, this tool always lets you look at, if I'm not fulfilling my vision or I'm not attaining my goal, what's missing in my structures or what's missing in my environment. What's interesting about the environment is the outside business environment is totally redesigned. Somebody's hit the massive universal reset button. So it's your chance to really reimagine what it is you're doing, how you're doing it inside of a new world. And so standing inside of, okay, if I'm not sure how to fulfill it, it comes from one of these or the other. It's either architecture or it's environment. The only two places to look. So I have some action steps for you to take away from the call today. I was going to call it homework, but I know if it's homework, most of us don't do homework. But we will take action for our business, right? So number one is get clear on your vision. If you are not clear on your vision, I am very happy to spend time with you. I'm home. I'm doing my own, shelter in place. I'm not going out. I got plenty of food for a while. So I got plenty of time to sit and have conversations. It's one of my favorite things to do. I always say the goal of my business is to spend my days sitting in coffee shops having conversations that make a difference. So I can do the same thing sitting in my office or my backyard. It was really beautiful today. So if you go to my website, drawdoor.com/30 minutes, you can schedule a 30-minute time with me, and I'll help you get clear on your vision. It's really important to me that people know where they're operating from. Two is explore your architecture. What are the systems and structures? What are the things you do in your business? What have you been doing that in this new world don't work or need to be reimagined? So what's inconsistent with fulfilling your vision, get rid of them. What do you have to reimagine? Come up with new ways to do them, new ways to accomplish things that you've never done before. And then what has to be created newly? What's missing that you could put in place, that you can create to help fulfill your vision? I'm working right now, I teach real estate classes as well, CE classes for realtors, and the commissioner has never allowed us to do live streaming classes. You can do an online class, but they're pre-recorded, they're boring as heck. But she doesn't want instructors to be here and students to be someplace else. Well, she's kind of waived that rule right now. So we're putting in place some live online classes for realtors to do CE classes. Never been done before. Commissioner made some changes, and we're now making changes to have that be available for people and still follow the law. So it's kind of interesting. What can you create newly for your business? And then explore your environment. What are the conversations you're having and the people you're having the conversations with? You can be the person that stands for power inside of uncertain times. Like, we don't know. And just being able to be with, we really don't know what's going to happen next week, the week after. So standing for, well, let's have it go a certain way. Let's have things work the way we want them to work. So that's the action steps I invite you to take. And then, I want you to just have compassion for yourself, generosity for yourself. Whatever shows up by default shows up. It's all okay. And then get present to, okay, here we are, and I'm not willing to stay here. I have a goal and commitment for myself and my business. How are we going to do that? That's pretty much what I have. Oh, yes, and then you've got to take action. Once you do these things, you then have to take action, put them in place, schedule your time, get to work and do it. We all have a lot more free time, I think, right now than we want. So there's plenty of time to take action and move forward. What thoughts, questions, comments do you have? You can, again, put them in the chat. I had expected more interaction, so this is shorter than I expected, but I want to open things up. What do you see for yourself as a place to take action? Or what value do you get from this? What do you see newly? What's opened up for you as a place that can help you alleviate some of the fear, the anxiety, and stress as we move forward? Thanks, Tracy. Thoughts, anybody? You can raise your hand if you can get to the screen that has that. So Wendy, great. So Wendy says, with massage being hands-on, it's hard to think of options outside of that. So great. So Wendy, you said, and I thank you for sharing through this, that your vision is people experience feeling loved and cared for, right? And massages are really great ways to relax and handle stress. Your skill is needed now more than ever before, right? So yes, for most people, they don't want to be together, but who says you can't hyper sterilize your environment, have people come in and wear masks, you wear gloves, do whatever, or you've got knowledge about massage. You've got knowledge maybe about how to do self-massage or couples massage. And virtual consulting is a great idea, right? Online classes that I saw somebody post a class yesterday, and it was a free class, and they were asking for donations based on what you could afford. Anywhere, she was asking for $25 to $200 to be on her class, and people could pay what they could afford. If nothing else, it's a way to get you in front of new people and talk about your business. So again, standing in, how do you make people feel loved and cared for in this environment, given the circumstances of what's going on? Maybe you're not comfortable being one-on-one with people in this environment. So great. How do you take your knowledge, your experience, and your skills and have people experience love, and being cared for in today's environment. It could be coaching phone calls. It could be have your clients do phone call sessions with you where you walk them through a quiet meditation and something like that, or train them, with their partners or their spouses to do, a couples massage or online training. Who knows, right? But thinking from how do you bring love and caring to people in the environment may open up some ideas for you in doing that. So Tracy Young, Tracy, what do you do? You say you're going to gather resources and getting a list of people. Absolutely, being a source of information. There's so much junk, we'll say, on the internet right now, and everything you see, I keep looking like, where's this come from? Who's the source? Is this valid? To be somebody that actually vets the information and gets it out to our clients and become the person that people can rely on for knowledge and information, whether it's in your industry or just in general. I have friends that are servers that are all out of work, and saw online today there are two foundations that are offering money to servers and food service businesses that are out of work. So being able to send the links to them to say, here, check this out. Maybe you can get some income in the meantime. Is very useful and makes you valuable. So that's a way to look. And again, it's if you look from how do you fulfill the vision to make a difference, ideas will show up and creativity will show up inside of that. Anybody else? Thoughts, feelings, any comments? Yeah, buts. What do you see for yourself? What's an action that you can take for your business to move things forward? So thanks, Matt. So Matt says, in these uncertain times, do you have any advice regarding timing? Meaning how much, when should I invest in doing things a new way versus preparing for a return to normal? We have no idea what the future holds, right? Like I said, it could be a week that they have some cure for this, or it could be months, right? So the thing is, what can you do right now for you? And you may have tools that'll work today that may carry over for when things do return to normal. I think we're never going to return to how it was. There'll be a new normal that comes out of this, right? So I think if you stand in the fulfillment of your vision or your goal, if you're, I know the Better Business Bureau has a mission statement. Can you take actions that fulfill the mission for right now? And that can carry over to when new normal returns or something else returns. It's looking at what's going to work today. Because for most people, we got to do something today. We got to get money coming in right now to help pay for the food and support and paying for our mortgages and our rent and car payments and all that stuff. If you're operating from fulfilling the mission, whatever you choose to do will always fulfill the mission. And so it's right now. It's right now. And for some people, there's no money to invest now, it is planning for the future, being prepared for when things open up to look another way. Because I find myself resisting. I've been working on a book for a long time, saying I'll work more when I have the time. Well, I have the time, and I'm still not working on it, which is so funny. But it's really is taking the time right now to actually look at planning and creating for when things return to some sense of normalcy. So it depends what works. It depends what fits. And if it's a fulfillment of the vision, there's no time like the present, right? Action is the only thing that moves things forward. Action is the only thing that produces results. Anybody else? Thoughts, feedback, comments? So Bruce, okay, so as a photography business, well, that's challenging, right? You're one of those businesses that really is out of business at this point, for the most part, right? I have catering companies. People talk about restaurants, but catering companies who bank on large gatherings. There's just no business out there. So there's a creativity piece. You probably have a library of photographs from people in the past. I don't know about you guys, but I've been having a lot of nostalgia. I've been watching old TV shows. I've been watching, Designing Women and Dick Van Dyke Show, which is before my time, but it's still nostalgic. Maybe reaching out to past clients with new access to their photos, new access to sharing old memories, maybe selling memory books. I don't know, right? It's thinking from what's the vision? What is it, Bruce? Do you have a sense of what your vision is for your business? What do you provide for people in a world of experience? Right? Looking from, so if you want to put that in the chat, looking from your vision, what can you do with what you have to move forward? And I don't know, maybe it's tips for people while they're home with their families, teaching people photography tips, right? People are home with their kids, spending more time with their kids and family, online classes for how to use your iPhone to take great pictures, how to frame a shot so that, you have memories to last a lifetime. You may not want to remember being stuck in your house with your family for weeks, but you certainly want to remember the experience you have with your family and kids while you're doing it, the good things, and maybe creating possibility. So yeah, so there's opportunity out there if you're operating from not how am I going to make money right now, but operating from how do I fulfill my vision? What can I do that fulfills my vision and will generate me revenue? You'll come up with some great ideas. So there's opportunities out there. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. Anybody else? Thoughts, questions, thoughts, comments? My information's on the screen. Feel free to give me a call. If I don't answer, I will call you back. I'm pretty good about answering my messages, and go to the website and feel free to schedule some time. I'm happy to work with you on creating a vision. There's power to create a vision. So what I want to leave you with is it is what it is. The more you can accept it is what it is, without any judgment, without any emotions, gives you power to operate from. Being clear what you're about, what you provide to the world. Who are you for the world is a vision. Again, my vision is that people experience freedom and power in fulfilling what's important to them. Who are you about? What are you about? And then operate from your vision to make sure your vision gets fulfilled with other people. And when that happens, you get lit up and inspired, and ideas show up in creativity. From uncertainty comes creativity and innovation. So this is a unique opportunity for all of us. And let's stay focused on what's positive and what we can create, and just deal with the crap we have to deal with. It's just what it is. So thank you for your time today. I really appreciate it. I hope you got something from this. Let me know what you think, what you thought. Let Better Business Bureau know for sure. And I appreciate your time today. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much, Butch, for educating us on your knowledge and your experience. I just want to remind everyone we do have another webinar scheduled for Friday tomorrow, just how to navigate those virtual meetings with those clients and teams. So if you want to register for that, just go to events.bbcommunity.org, or you should have received a link through your email. And we will go ahead and send the recording of this, the presentation slides to you through an email. And if you have any questions, please reach out to either Butch or me, and please take care of yourself and have a great day.
Thank you.